Hello, Pat. How you doing today? Who in here? Yeah, that's Pat. Started to work on this blade. And I'm having this weird shortage of my very smallest clamps. I have no idea where they are. So I am wondering if I need to change desktops. I'll have to see. The knife and scabbard came out beautifully good today, except for ocular migraines. Oh, that's terrible. Are you getting the ones that actually make your head hurt, or just the spots? But oh man, ocular migraines are not fun. I have those occasionally. Not to make your discomfort about me, however. So I'm just going to start here, Pat, with the 220. And I haven't run this blade sharp since the heat treatment. So what I'm going to do now is just start with 220, probably end somewhere around 2000 in the polish, and then I'll move on to the whetstones and go from there up to probably the 8000. And thank you for hanging out with me, Pat. I appreciate you coming through. You out working today, or y'all still snowed in up there? something very rough about my last couple knives blades. And I think I want to have a little bit more polished look overall to the blades and pay a little bit more attention to the aesthetic of it now. Don't know if I'm exactly doing this the proper way at this stage, but it seems to be doing what I'm asking or what I'm wanting. And then I'll keep upping the sandpaper. And from there, I'll start to go into the wet. That was 220. I'm going to go ahead up to a 320. Now this is the wet or dry, so I am gonna wet it. Right now we are gonna concern ourselves with the blade as a whole. First, and then we'll work our way to the refinement of the edge. But we're going to go through the trouble of making this knife look away and then not care about the aesthetic of the blade as well. So, it's just an old saw blade, so it won't be easy to get it to look like high-end stuff. And we give it every bit of effort. bear with me. We're still pretty early on in this scenario. I will say I don't mind the actual little cuts in the blade though. Those somehow look like character to me. I don't want any of that smoke on the edge, you know. Work. Let's clean it. Just found you in my shorts. My God, love the work. Thanks, Ray. I appreciate that. Hey, Cedric. What's up, Kim? Bug. Hey. How you doing, Bug? Let me give you a better view, I think, than my ugly mug. Hit the button. Boop. Yeah. I love seeing new people in the chat, too. Awesome. Thank y'all for showing up. I appreciate you. I am West Does It. Hip-hop, beatboxing, and knife making. Mostly knife making. Today, you know. We're bumping up from the 400. To some CLs. Easy enough. Screw it to the edge even. Dip it in the water. Trying to get y'all a good view. Now, like I said before, currently I'm mostly concerned with the entirety of the blade, right? And then we'll come back, start really refining the edge of the blade. We're going to do a little of that as we go, but not as a specific focus. Currently, we're just trying to make it not look like a saw table blade. I'm just using wet, dry sandpaper, wet, progressively higher and higher in the grit until we eventually, hopefully, end up with a nice mirror-esque finish. But we'll see. I'm not notorious for my knife blade looks. They cut good enough, but you know, there's some real OGs out there that really do that work. My knives are a little bit more of an art effort, or artistic effort. Craftsmanship is the thing I'm learning as I go. But it is largely an artistic endeavor for me. I wouldn't be happy with it if it didn't cut. It wasn't a good knife. But I'd be equally disappointed if it turned out ugly, in my own opinion. This is a 600 grit paper at this point, by the way. Would love a knife like this. Well, this one right here is already promised and obligated away, should he accept it. But if he says, no, I don't like that knife, get it the heck out of here. And it'd be up for grabs. Let's see where we're at again. Getting there. Not there yet. But we are getting there. Gotta grab the wife, bring her to school, work, be back shortly. Okay, Pat. Have a good one. We'll see you when you get back. Be safe on that road, bub. It's crazy out there sometimes. Alright. Gonna move that 600 out and move some 12 hundo in. Now, I did not buy all of this wet and dry paper for this. This is in the automotive section of my garage. I mean workshop. Workshop. That's what I meant. But yeah, because we are going. Speaking of weather, my son and I are waiting for this weather to be good enough to paint the truck, his truck. So that's why I've got all this excessive wet dry paper. But that'll let me see what's possible with just the sandpaper. Just a regular wet dry situation. Alright, we're at 1200 and we are remoisturized. I probably could have did a little more to get those scratches out of that last grit. I also secretly like the idea of things being slightly imperfect, but functionally. And give the blade attention, it's very specific attention. The edge, I mean. Just looking out the window, watching years fall through, thinking how it all was every time. Good time, yeah, yeah, good time, making your way up the world, making a way when you can, temporary layoff. Good time, easy train and the ball. Good time, scratching at somebody. Good times, hanging in a child now. Good times, ain't we lucky we got 'em? Bum, 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 bum. Good times. Once again, see what we got. Starting to get a little reflection. What I am doing is accidentally slicing right through that paper, which is a good sign. And we're getting there. Yeah, we're lucky we got them. Oh boy. All right, so now, hey Brown Sugar, how you doing? White Silence, how you doing? Good to see you. Glad to see y'all in the chat today. Awesome sauces. That was a 1200 grit. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the 2000. The 2000. Hercules. That's going to be good. I think the 2000 is what's going to take us over the top. Maybe. Hey, bro. How would I fix a rusted Damascus steel blade? I've never had a Damascus steel blade. But if it's rusted, there's a couple things you could do. I would first soak it in some evapor rust. That stuff is great. And again, I'm no knifeologist. Just a dude making a knife in his garage. But I would do something similar to this process you're seeing me do right here. But instead of water, I'd be using WD-40. And that'll be cleaning that blade, and it'll also be helping that blade out in terms of getting some oil in it and some rust resistance to it. That would be my way anyway. And I will say this, just FYI, I got a pre-rusted knife here. This knife I made came out of my back of my truck. Was a machete. I cut that blade off, made this blade out of it, made this knife out of it. And that's the process I used. I don't ever get any rust on it. I carry it every day. So as far as I can tell, that process works. I won't be so arrogant as to say that's the way, but that's a way that did work for me. Doing just what I'm doing now, except with WD-40. So far, so good. That knife's maybe 6 months old, maybe 7 months old. I was told not to use WD-40 on knives as it tends to pit. That might be true, White Silence. I can't vouch for that or not. It's possible. There are definitely products out there, and probably more knowledgeable people than me, if we're being honest, to give that information. But as I said, I can just tell you what I've done. And in my particular knife, that pitting wasn't a bad thing if it did happen. That knife, I kind of liked the roughness of the texture. It had plenty of pitting in it prior, but I haven't seen any rusting since. Now I'm gonna put a little bit of focus on that blade edge as I go. Whereas I'd like for the whole knife to be nice and shiny and polished. Obviously, I'm gonna make the blade of the cutting edge a priority at some point. But the better that light bounces off, the happier I'm getting. I probably should start putting it on top of a cloth as I go now, so I don't re-rough the edge with all the junk that I'm sharpening off of it. You see, we still got plenty of scratches, but we are looking a lot more polished than we were. Let's see if we got the original piece. That's where that knife came from right there. That's the hole for the finger is also the hole that the blade fastened with. So, you know, all things considered, not too bad so far. Looking good, says M. McCall. Appreciate it. WD does what it does, clean without removing any material, so it leaves the pits cleaned. Ah, thank you for that info line. And welcome. Good morning. How you doing today? Mr. McCall, looking good. Appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. The thing is, it's definitely an uptick as I go in each part. It's so interesting knife making because it's gonna refine your wood working for sure, right? Because the handles are so small, it's such a focal point. It just can't be a boring one. Put your hand on it, so it's gotta be comfortable. So it really makes you pay some attention to what you're working with. I am still heartbroken about those earrings. That earring breaking on you, man, yesterday on that live. I told my wife I felt so responsible. I'm like, he's talking to me. I got him distracted. It's very delicate work. Snap. Broke my heart. I hope you got it sorted out. But I felt that feeling before. Like you've been on those earrings definitely longer than I've been on this knife. And it is intricate the whole way, delicate the whole way. Just FYI, y'all, if y'all don't know, I'm talking to M. McCall there in the chat, Eco Woodcraft. And if you'd like to put your channel up, that would be a blessing to my channel. Because I'm sure people would love to see all the cool stuff you're doing over there. If they're watching this, they're going to love it over there. But Mr. McCall is who I also got all of this really cool wood from. every single piece of wood material on this knife came directly from him. I appreciate it so much. This knife would not have been as dynamic with the Home Depot lumber. I'll tell you that. I'll just say that. Okay, so this is the 2000 grit. And so we're pretty much nearing the end of what I can do with sandpaper. I may have some 3000 and 4000. If I do, we'll do that as well. Let's see. Meanwhile, I appreciate y'all so much for being here with West Desert, hanging out, getting something done, working on our mental well-being, and keeping our hands busy. And if you relate to that, feel free to come by anytime. And subscribe if you want to see me regularly. If not, I get that too. I am not the most good-looking guy on the internet. I can agree to that assessment, as I've been told in the chat quite enough. All right, let's go. This is 3000, so let's go with that. Grateful to have it. Glad to find it. And just FYI, when you're going sandpaper, when you're going up in sandpaper, this is just a good rule of thumb. You want to go up no higher jump than twice the grit of what you just last used. So you wouldn't want to go from like 400 to 1500. You try to stay somewhere around 8 or 1000 at the most if you make a jump like that. But going from 2000 to 3000 is perfect. And that 3000 made a drastic difference, looks like. It's always those little bits up next to the handle that don't get quite the attention because I'm worried about the wood getting saturated in metallic ridden water. But all the rest of it can get the business. Sludge-tastic. Hear how quiet that sanding is starting to get. That's how we know we're into some polishing. Speaking of polishing, we might be getting there. We might be getting there. You can see we still got some scratches if you look close, but we can also tell we got some polish. So as we continue going, are you going all the way up to 65,000 grit? Maybe. It's a good thing that broke now, not later. That's true, Mr. McCall. That's true. Small blessings, right? Happy accidents might be a better way to put it. R.I.P. Bob Ross. If I had 65,000 grit sandpaper, trust and believe, you'd be experiencing that. Pat over there at Smallwood Line, I absolutely be trying to get. It's like I'm one of those people. I will go as far as I can go. You know what I mean? Just to know how far I should go or shouldn't. What's worth it, what's not. Right now I'm looking around to see if I do have any 4,000 grit, because I have had some. And if I do have any more, it would likely be in this particular drawer I'm working through now. So appreciate y'all's patience while I look. And if not, then we can go to the whetstones and go ahead and move ourselves up to, let's say, we don't want to go back to 1,000 grit. We will we hit the 8,000 grit, but we're gonna have to clean her up first. She's been sitting in soupy water for the last 2 days. I probably shouldn't have a metal container for these, but this block cleans it all back up, forgives everything pretty easily. But size-wise, it works absolutely great. These are the Amazon stones, by the way. The Amazon whetstones kit that I use for my whetstonery. And yeah, we're gonna leave all of that sludge on there. This is my first time putting the stones on this thing, so it's going to be an interesting sharpening experience since I put the handle on it. But it's important to know what that is. And this time I am feeling a little apprehensive about this handle. So what I'm going to do is protect it. I did put some linseed oil on it last night. That soaked in really well. It's still soaking in a little bit this morning. So I'm going to give myself a quick few minutes. Put some tape around the edge of that just to keep it kosher. Get in there and stay. Do what I tell you. Problem is, it's already a little wet. Oops, sorry. I did that like I hurt you. Get out the way, chump. Get out the way, sucker. It's not going to protect me completely, but that is going to keep me from saturating that edge. And that's what I don't want to do. Yes, I'm going to keep this sludge on here, this slurry. Because it's going to help me. It's going to help me. Help me, help me, help me, help me. When I worked at the machine shop, I had a wet wheel diamond low speed sharpening system. I could sharpen the cheapest, junkiest knives to sharper than a scalpel. That's awesome. That must have been a great tool to have. I have looked at some of those. They seem expensive. Feel like it might be time. Feel like it might be time for the old strop. For the old strop has been called from the deep. The presence has been requested. So, let's get it. I don't know which strap is going to work best for this size and shape of this knife, so I'm going to try them both. see which seems to be the most ergonomically sufficient. As soon as I can find either one of them. As soon as so where is it? Where's the strap? Strap. Space, strap. Hey, 38 likes. Thank y'all. Appreciate you. You rock. You rock. I'm gonna put some wax on this joint. People have their preferences of waxes. The green used to be my joint. Still is on a wheel. But I have grown to appreciate white wax. And then we'll go to some diamond emulsions and see how sharp we can get this knife. Maybe we won't get it much shinier than it is. We'll work some polish over it and see. I think I might prefer a smaller strap for this. Definitely. It's definitely smoother, easier way to sharpen this blade. It's hard to catch that bottom edge. You could do that. That may be what has to happen. Some blades you're not going to hit each side with one wiper. Whew. But, ooh, that looks good. Oh, that looks good. Get that burr off that edge. You can feel it coming off. All right. Next step. The diamond emulsion. I use the 6-micron diamond emulsion by Cutting Edge Lace because she sent it to me for free. And I've continued to use it because it's incredibly good. what we have not done at all is try to cut anything with this knife yet. We do not know if it's sharp. Do not know if it's sharp. This is a close piece of paper I got. Woo! So, let's find another more interesting piece of paper. Because we sharp. We know that now. We know that now. Let's see. Try our knife. Uh-oh, that was weird. Sort of wet paper. Wonder if I got a little snag in there. Yeah, like, I wonder if that's my angle. No, it's going through. Maybe it's me. I am going to hit it again, though, with some more polish. Because I've got another 0.5 micron diamond emulsion. I'm going to put that on there. Thank you for the 40 likes, y'all. That's solid effort from y'all. I'm not going to complain about anything double digits. I appreciate you. Thank you for showing up for you, boy. Hey, Rob, how you doing? Lion said it's a burr. And we got to get that burr then, huh? That means more stropping. So I'm telling you, fellas, get you some smart friends who know stuff. It's the only way to live. Even if you gotta go all the way to the UK to do it, you find you some homeboys who know more than you about stuff. And some friends and some cumulative knowledge. Big Rob in the building. That's right. Also, a very knowledgeable, skills tradesman in his own right. And smart guy all around. I enjoy both Rob and Lions and Pat in this community. And I appreciate them all and their contributions. So, we'll give it another shot at the paper. We don't want to send this out with a burr on it. Made it the whole way that time, huh? Got nothing else to prove. But only because Rob is in his place right now. Y'all are going to have to witness me polish this knife. Rob is the polish master. Lions has done some incredible polish work too, but haven't sat through it and been humiliated by it during the live like I have with Rob. Just kidding. He actually showed me his technique, which I'm going to show you right now. Because all we are is thieves of information around here. And free stealing of my info is also smiled upon. Oh, there's my rag. Rob taught me to use the same snotty rag and the same gross finger hole to reapply and to apply polishes. Now, I don't have a steel polish here. I don't have it. I don't have a chrome polish. But I do have an aluminum polish that has been working out pretty daggone good. So, I'm going to bust out the mothers. We're just going to take a little teeny little skadoof of it. Just burned out another coffee pot. Heating coil broke. Oh my God, Pat. What is happening, bro? I have never in my life burnt out a coffee pot. You are going too hard in the paint, cuz. Burn out a coffee pot? But you know, you work in the educational system, so I do get that. It's an all-day affair, I would imagine. Took the trash out. I lost a day this week, right? And all week I keep waking up thinking it's the previous day. And I missed the trash, guys, yesterday. I thought. I didn't think about it until 11. I think I'm hearing them right now. The weather must have pushed them back a day too. Now, I'm going to go to the clean that junk off side of my rag. And polish off the polish, so to speak. And I'm getting enough reflection to see all those previous scratches on the head. But I gotta say, I'm not too mad at my results either, though. Pardon my muttering, y'all. It's a bad habit. I can't front. I'd be lying if I didn't say I wanted better results than this. I'd also be lying if I didn't say I think these are probably amongst the best results that I've gotten. I'm just trying to raise the bar for myself. Do you know what I mean? I've seen better, so I feel like I could do better. And it just could be I haven't devoted enough time yet. It could be. Gotta go back to the wet and drop down a grit or two and work my way back. I don't know. What do y'all think? I mean, we got an edge. We know we can cut paper. I don't know why that's such a big deal, the cutting paper part. It is symbolic of knowing that you for sure, because if you can't cut paper, you do have a problem. All right. I guess they have issues keep coming up with my consumptionals. The only coffee drinker at my home, 1 to 3 at work, but I have my own 50 cup pot. Oh, wow. Why aren't I using different shots for different polishing compounds? I am. I'm using different sides. I don't know if you noticed that. I use the polishing compound here, and then on that side was the side we use the emulsion. So that's why. Definitely get some steel polish. It'll give me a better finish. You know what they say, Wes? The more you rub it, the better it gets. These are true facts, Pat. It all starts at the other end of the scale with 600 grit before you move into anything else. A full and complete scratch pattern. Yeah, scratch pattern. When you say that, that sounds familiar enough and foreign enough for me to know that that wasn't what I was thinking about when I was doing it, Lion. So it's a little bit of research I got to get into. And then also some steel polish. I also am just one of them guys who tries to use what I've got. I don't try to get a bunch of extra stuff if I can help it. But once it becomes necessary, and you got to figure out a way to do that. So that's what I'm going to do. But speaking of, while I've got this here, I am going to knock another scratch pattern on this bad boy. I'm going to take this back to the 220 and give it a light sand. I noticed when I worked on it yesterday, I didn't get everything. I realized I got a little ahead of myself, and I did not refine the sanding on this before I put the color, well, not color, but the boiled linseed oil. So I'm going to do a light sand on it and then reapply. And then I'm going to reapply to this. I'm not going to do another sand on that, though, I don't think. I don't know. I might take the 400 up. But I just want this to be a little bit smoother than it is now. A little bit more dynamic than it is now. And I realized that once I got it, once it started drying up, the boiled linseed oil. So I think I stopped at 120 on this one yesterday. And you see how I still got these scratch patterns in there from the tools. And that is not what you want on wood at all. Not on your finish. Yes, that is the remains of a Diablo circular saw blade. Absolutely. This is literally the blade that knife came from. That's the hole. I'll be over here on some hood stuff. I know it. I know it. I just trying to get something as pretty as I can. You know? And useful. Like, this is some of the most beautiful wood I've got my hands on. But I knew from the start it wasn't going to be something I was going to keep. So I want the owner to get something that's really thoughtful. Something that's been carefully put together. Thoughtfully put together. After all, that's kind of where this whole thing started, right? This wood was all a gift to me. Somebody was being a good person, a nice person, generous person. So, if I'm in that world, I gotta be of that world. This already feels much better in my hand. Clean these off real fast. Thank you for hanging out with the West Does It. And I appreciate your likes and your subscriptions and your memberships. For anybody who wants to do any of that stuff, thank you. If anybody who doesn't or even can't afford it, absolutely understood. I'm going to give you as much free content as I can too. So, try to do it good both ways. If you are a member, you are absolutely always in the running for a giveaway. And in my giveaways, there's no postage, there's no nothing. Just me shipping to your front door. That's it. Can't vouch for the quality of what you get, but it's gonna be the best I can do. How about that? How about that? And that's about all I can offer anyway, right? The best I can do with the best I know. I wanted to leave this very angular, very geometric, which I am gonna do, but I am gonna give a slight little round on these corners, just so that they're not fragile and break just a little bit with the 220. Kind of pains me to do it because I did not want to do that. But I also don't want this thing having any sort of fracture later. Hard corners on wood surfaces are not the best thing. Wipe it clean again. And while I got some out, I might hit this with some 320 since I've got some right here. And maybe I'll just hit it with the 320 dry, because this has such a pattern in it. It's so strong, so tough a wood. I think it can take it. So I'm actually getting some. Yeah, that's sanding it. Some things you go over 220 and you're getting a burnish, not a sand, but this is sanding off. Definitely. Just one as polished on this piece as I can get. Starting to actually feel like not like wood, but like a stone almost. It's getting kind of that slick feel to it. Like as you rotate it in your hand, you can feel the difference. Like I said, we go as far as we can go to get the best thing that we know to make. Always remove the sharp edge from wood. It lessens the chance of splitting, chipping, and splintering. Absolutely. Absolutely. You're right on that one, boss. Wiping down again. We still do have some of that linseed oil in there. It's still holding up really well inside. that wood. You can still sort of feel that. This is good stuff. I really, really like this stuff. Since we've got the 320 out and we're already being weird, I like the results of that so much. I do know this is a super hard, super dense wood as well. May do some good on that. Like, I don't know if you've ever you've held a high polish knife before, where the finish is so smooth and slick that it feels next level. I don't know. I know the feeling I'm describing, and kind of know what I'm after. I think I'm real close to it. I'm just going to pull with the wood grain, as always, never against for a sand. And see if I can get a good, smooth, clean, polished finish. I think people underestimate how much touching something and the feel of it adds in the experience of the quality thing. And I think to get to something that's just plain old pleasant to touch, you might have to touch it quite a bit. I've heard there's some woods you can sand up to 600 grit and still be doing some good, not just filling in holes. We put in some hours on this thing, some days on this thing. All right. Sorry I had to disappear for a second. Focus. But I'm back. Get a fresh rag. And I'll put a little air on it, make sure we didn't get anything. Woo! Almost set my finger right on that edge of that blade. Put a little more linseed oil on it. And we can call this knife as done as we can have it for now. Until I get some steel polish or I go back and reapply my patterns. But I don't hate it. I will think about that and decide if I want to go back. Oh, that already feels so much smoother. Soak in, my pretty. Soak it up. All right, so I gotta take this glove off because I'm adding trauma from it. Ugh. Do this with the naked hands. Wipe all that stuff off. Sorry, y'all gotta look at these farmers' hands. Don't want that to fall. A little linseed oil on this knife edge as well. Not the edge, you know what I'm saying. Stop picking on me. Leave me alone. It just looks like a nice piece of art. In my humble opinion. I'm blown away by this wood. Just really am. It's hard to speak on it without sounding like I'm tooting my own horn and bragging on my own work. But this did take quite a bit of time and a lot of intentional effort, and I think the results were good. The interesting thing about this wood is these little fractures. You'll see it when I turn it around, that just travel inside the wood throughout. Super hard, super dense. You can see it again right there. But overall, this thing feels smooth and slick And really nice. I got the blade much better than it was. And the fit is pretty superb. Brag away, the world needs to quit shutting down self-appreciation. Be humble, but be diligent in loving yourself and what you do. New Roots Dynamic. Couldn't have spoken that better myself. I appreciate that. So yeah, this is what we got. Now I've got Kendrick stuck in my head. Which one did I stick in your head? That's my fault, man. I didn't mean to attack your brain subconsciously. I got 58 likes. That's pretty good for me. I appreciate that, everybody. I appreciate it. Yeah, so I'm super happy with this. I don't want to do another single thing to it except maybe give a description of how it got built. And maybe I'll do that in a short and put something out for the owner. Oh, be humble. Oh, yeah. Sit down. Hey, be humble. Look, I'm not helping, am I? I'm just giving you more ammunition for your brain to take over. Well, I appreciate all of y'all's support, man, through me making this knife. Yeah, I got the idea from the last knife that I made for a solo knife block. Um, because really, uh, my knives are not more trying not to brag or sound pompous or anything like that. But truth is, these knives are just as much about their aesthetic as they are about whether they can cut something. They can cut great, but it's very much about the aesthetic as well. And I enjoy this knife. It cuts fantastic, but I don't want to put it in a drawer. It could be boom on a desk just like that, or sitting on a desk just like that. You know, and it's got a nice case to sit in and be displayed if that's the direction that things go in. But you know, being able to do that, I think, is nice. And these aren't carry on your waist type of knives either, you know what I mean? Who's gonna carry that around on their hip on a sheath? But I will sit that on my desk. I will open up letters. I will cut leather, anything I want to do with it, because it's a good, well-built knife. Keep refining that idea, man. I think something like that works really well. Thank you. Something like that needs to be sitting on a desk or a kitchen counter. I'd love to have a meat cutting knife and a little solo block like that. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I feel the same way. So that's what I got. I thank all of y'all for hanging out with me while I built it. Hope y'all like it. I enjoyed making it a whole lot. A whole lot. I live in Indiana, dude. You'd be surprised the amount of guys walking around with skinning knives on their belt like they're just going to run into a deer at any time. Yeah, that's probably true. That's also probably true in Georgia. I'm just probably not hanging with the right deer skinning crowd. Gorgeous piece. I've said that before, but I truly mean it. Your work is inspiring, my man. Glad to call you a friend. New Roots, I am grateful for that. Very much so. Thank you. And likewise. So, we're going to call this one done. And figure out what we're going to do on the next thing. Because there's always the next thing. Today I'm going to go out and see if I can pour that concrete footer I was trying to get in the ground. We're going to get up to 45 today, so I think it'll be warm enough, long enough for it to set up without a problem. Hopefully. That's a great knife, Wes. Thank you, Rob. I appreciate it. It's definitely time for me to get that bathroom done. I'll tell you something about that bathroom. I went to go get all my materials the other day, and I went in there and, jeez, I swiped my card, and it was like bloop bloop. I try that again. I was like, oh crap! And then I went to go check my balance, and it was not there. I'm trying to do this whole bathroom, no money out of the house, right? Just leftover materials, discount stuff, and then I'm like, the tile I'm just gonna buy. And I admit I was splurging a little bit, but I was trying to stay under $1,000, and I did not by a long shot. And I just need to wait until I get enough money to buy the tile that I actually want in there. So it'll be soon. But because this weather snap has kept me out of work for 2 weeks now, I got to get back on it. Sorry I wasn't chatting in the afternoon live. Rob, you're always good, brother. Always good. Chatty or not, you are my friend. And I appreciate you. And I hope everything is well with you. All right, guys. Thank you for hitting that like button and getting me to 60 before I got out of here. I thank you. Oh, dude, my insurance come out every 6 months, right? So I never know when it's coming out, the account. Came out the other day right when I was standing in the register at Lowe's. Oh, it's a hurt piece. You know, we got to do what we got to do. We know what our decisions have to be about our bills. But it's hard to turn around and put something back. I swear to God, I ain't done it in a while, but I had to do it that day. You have a great day, though. I'll try to pop in if you're on again later. I'll see you somewhere tonight. Yes, sir. Mr. New Roots, we'll see you then. I was preoccupied, as you can guess. Much love, brother. Hey, no problem, Rob. Listen, you know where the WhatsApp is. I told you I got a West Desert WhatsApp thing. You can call me. Or Facebook, Messenger. I'm around for sure, and for true. Not just talking. All right. I'm out. I'm going to go fix something to eat. Maybe watch somebody else on the live. Maybe make some phone calls. See y'all later. West does it. We did it. Yeah. I feel like confetti should fall from the sky. And it looks like it's just one pin. There's actually 2 pins that go through that metal, through that wood, but only 1 pin that makes it outside of the wood because it was a secondary thought. I should have trapped them all. But it's strong, it's full tang. Best knife I could make. West Desert. Peace!